Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks going up against Ty Lawson and the Denver Nuggets. And with tip-off just seconds away, let's head on out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll be back to bring you up to speed with the HP Halftime Report.
The Mavericks look to tangle with a fellow Western Conference foe coming into town for this game today. Bringing you another exciting NBA broadcast here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. So let's take a look at the starters for the Dallas Mavericks. Kidd and Terry on. They're manning the backcourt. Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler in the middle. And it's Marion in at the small forward. And for the Nuggets, K. Martin and Ney are inside. Lawson and Aflalo are the backcourt. And it's Gallinari in at the 3 slot.
I don't think we'll see anyone quite like Dirk again for a long time. He's such a unique player. I mean, his shot is just so pure. It'll be hard for a player to replicate what he's been able to do, especially on that 7-foot frame and the unorthodox style that he does it with.
Well, Clark, you've mapped it out well. You mentioned Dirk, and I think at this point it's safe to say he's the best European player ever in the NBA. What do you think?
I'm right there with you.
Steve?
Yeah, he's got to be considered the best European player ever, ahead of anybody I can think of. The only foreigner that I could compare to him would be Hakeem Olajuwon, who would be number 1 on my list. But Dirk, in terms of Europe, yeah, he's number 1.
Fades away. Good.
You know, when there's little or no D on this guy and he's headed to the rim, just chalk it up and go on.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with George Karl for just a few moments. He loves this matchup and believes this game presents him with a great chance for an offensive explosion. I think our strengths offensively could pose major problems for them. We'll find out, Kevin.
Wonderful stuff, Doris. Thanks. The early game plan, Clark, centered around their offense. It sounds like.
Yeah, and I think that's fine as long as they don't sacrifice anything from an effort standpoint at the defensive end.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the strategy, guys, because when you get off to a good start offensively, you feel good about yourself, and generally that energy carries over to the defensive end as well. Boy, how good were the Mavericks last year against the Western Conference? They won 35 times against Western opponents.
Caron Butler is checked in for Sean Marion. Now here's Kidd, and they turn it over. Stepped in the line that time.
Not the kind of pass you want to be making right there. He's lucky it wasn't stolen.
Here's Lawson. About 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter of the game. Going back now to the Mavs, they didn't win the division, Clark, but they nabbed the 3 seed in the playoffs. And that played a nice part of it.
Yeah, you know, they edged out the Thunder by 2 wins, and the difference there was the record of those 2 teams against the Western Conference. So I know it's a long season, and sometimes it's hard to value every game. But when you're a playoff team, a contending championship team, every game does mean something during that regular season.
Absolutely. Here's Lawson. He's picked up by Kidd. Lawson kicks to Gallinari. A 3-ball. Gets it to go. Gallinari's got 7.
But you've got to get the ball out of his hands, bring an extra defender, and force somebody else to beat you.
I agree with you. Make him give it up.
Nowitzki for 3. And good on the basket. Book it.
Red hot right out of the gates. 4 for 4 shooting.
You know, you look at the stops in Carlisle's coaching career, guys. I mean, almost every year he's good for 50-plus wins, no matter who he's coaching, but never able to get the team all the way to the top until last season. You can't help but be happy for him.
Here's Terry. Outside Kidd from deep. It's hauled in by the Nuggets.
Go back to Rick Carlisle for a moment. You know, it's funny because he had trouble finishing off strong seasons just like the Mavericks. accomplished their goals when they got together and brought home the title to Dallas.
And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. It's on Aaron Aflalo.
Jason Terry really came into his own once he was acquired by Dallas after his early seasons in Atlanta. Not a traditional point guard, much more effective as a shooting guard, and he fits right in with the Mavericks.
Chris Anderson is checked in for the Nuggets. Chandler comes in for Kenyon Martin. And the Mavericks making a change here as well. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Tyson Chandler. Then Gallinari kicks to Chandler. Caron Butler covering. Back to Gallinari. From downtown, there's the bucket. Good. Gallinari's got 10 points. You mentioned Terry flourishing with the Mavericks at the beginning of his career with Atlanta. He really gives Dallas options in that backcourt.
Yeah, he can occasionally play at the point guard spot for you next to somebody else at the shooting guard position, but he's best when he's in attack mode. And his versatility and his shot making. I love the effervescence that JT plays with. Not to mention the fact that he throws daggers at you from that three-point line.
That wasn't an easy call, but I think it was the right one. Looked like he got hit on the way up.
Yes, sir. Clearly gets him while he's releasing the ball there, Steve. No doubt about it. Well, I think it was certainly a topsy-turvy season for the Nuggets with all the Carmelo trade rumors. But, you know, considering all of that uncertainty, it was good to see the way they rallied after the trade and finished the season really strong.
Well, we know he can run hot or cold, but I like the way he's playing today.
Nowitzki for three. Dallas no good that time either.
As a player, you always want to be able to answer back, but he just didn't have it in him that time.
He wasn't paying any attention to the defense. Poor pass there.
And Anderson slams it in.
Not stop. There's no way to stop that. I mean, and there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Stevie is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish. That was nice.
Well, you look at the effects of that Carmelo trade, what that had on the Denver Nuggets, Steve. It seemed like they didn't lose a whole lot of ground in the West once that trade went down.
Well, they got much better defensively after the trade, and they were able to play fast and still score points. The question is, without Carmelo, can you win in the playoffs? Can you score when the defense is set? And I think that's going to be a major task for Denver without Carmelo Anthony, one of the best scorers in the league.
Kidd gets called for the reach. That's his first foul. First 6 seconds left in the first. It's a look. And it's off the back rim.
Not a bad look, though. You would like his chances to make that one.
Do, but he can't hit them all.
Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. The Mavericks on top, leading by a point. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. So with Nowitzki sitting on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. Haywood is out there with Caron Butler, and it's Chandler, and there's Rudy Fernandez, and it's Barea in at the point. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Kevin, for Tyson Chandler, in the span of a year, he won both a gold medal and an NBA championship. And Chandler thinks that one helped lead to the other. I've always been a passionate guy, he said, but being a vocal guy for Team USA and seeing guys responding to what I was saying, I felt like this is on the biggest level you can possibly be on. I don't think if I hadn't had that Team USA experience that I would have been as vocal and successful here with the Mavs. Guys?
All right, Doris.
Well, that's how it is. I mean, one great achievement builds confidence for the next. And it's been a fantastic run for Tyson Chandler.
Stolen by Haywood. Here's the three. Rebound by the Nuggets.
You know, you see Barea out there, and you can't help but think of the impact he was for the Mavs in their run to the title last spring. I mean, he was a terrific spark for the whole team. You know, the hardest part of that play was getting to the rebound. After that, it was easy.
It's stolen. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Barea's got his first points in this one.
Well, getting back to J.J. Barea, you know, he took some lumps early in the playoffs. A couple of hard fouls, one from Andrew Bynum, the flagrant foul against the Lakers. But he showed his toughness, kept getting up off the floor, kept attacking, going to the rim, and he finished that final series off against Miami in absolute style. He was fantastic.
Now, here is Miller, guarded by Barea. Now the dish to Chandler. Now Chandler defending. That's good from Chandler on the assist by Smith. Mavericks leading by 5.
Guys, if you're a visiting team, I mean, the Pepsi Center is one of the toughest places to try to steal a win. I mean, the altitude isn't helping matters, that's for sure, and it can actually literally take the wind out of you.
The three, from the bucket. Chandler's got 5 points now this quarter.
I like that. Run to the three-point line, find a wide-open shot.
And the dunk by Chandler.
Boy, the big fella's showing us a little explosiveness for a change.
Well, maybe Clarkie's working on his dunk skills because he looked perfectly at home right there.
Yeah, sometimes he can clang those, so I'm glad to see him get that one down.
Miller outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Up with it. And again, it's Wilson Chandler. Chandler's got 7. And for the Nuggets, going back to their home court advantage, you know, when you get off the opposing team bus, the first sign you see as you're going that early is, just to warn you folks, you're a mile high. Breathing, right? And
That's right.
You played there, you saw it.
No, that's right.
It's hard to breathe here. So now you mix in their high energy, that high pace of game that they go through. I mean, wow, what a combination.
Yeah, it's a lethal combination if you're the road team.
And they're too deep at every position, guys, so they can really put some pressure on you at both ends of the floor.
That doesn't go on the chance to tie.
Boy, both clubs really battling under the boards.
Yeah, and, you know, Steve, the rebounding story really mirrors the game at large. I mean, it's been pretty much tit for tat, neck and neck.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets.
He wants to make a few adjustments out there, and he's running through those with his team right now.
And the Nuggets with some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Anderson. Alinari comes in for Wilson Chandler. And it's a Flalo in for J.R. Smith. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Haywood. Marion comes in for Caron Butler. Jason Terry is checked in for Rudy Fernandez. Jason Kidd is subbed in for J.J. Barea. Aflalo goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
See how he used the rim to protect the ball perfectly. From the defender on that reverse.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected coaches in the NBA, and he said of the title team from a year ago, it was one of the most special he's ever been around. He looked at what their strengths were, not what their weaknesses were. Carlisle said, it's not about what you can't do, it's about what you can do. It's not about what your potential shortcomings are, it's what we could accomplish as a group together. And it was just phenomenal to be around them. Guys, a championship will put a smile on everyone's face.
All right, Doris. And he slams it home. Here's the replay on the Sprite Slam Cam.
There isn't anybody in the building that didn't appreciate that throwdown.
Well, Steve, that's as fancy a finish as you could possibly get.
A serious degree of difficulty on that one.
The Nuggets trail by 6. Miller outside. He's picked up by Kidd. And Miller backs down. Out to Gallinari. Down goes the slam.
Well, that time he got a pretty clear run to the hoop.
It was Clark, and he took full advantage of it.
And not just with any old finish. I mean, that was a big-time dunk.
The and one is good, so a three-point play that time. Here's Kidd.
And they'll slow it down, use a little clock.
Good call, partner. Hold it for the final one.
Here's Nowitzki. It's blocked. Now Miller. It's a three-point game. He tries for three, and no good trying to get that one.
We've seen Nowitzki playing a good game here. 9 points, then he's buried one three-pointer in the course of this game.
Yeah, it's good that he's established himself as having the ability to knock down that long-range shot because it forces the defense to respect him.
Mavericks lead by 3.
Welcome to HP at the half. A close game going on out at Pepsi Center. For the Dallas Mavericks, they have the lead against Denver. Great activity on the defensive end of the floor. They're forcing a ton of turnovers. Jason Terry off to a good start. He's got 6 points. He's added some assists to his totals as well. And for the Nuggets, it's been all hustle. A dominant offensive display through 2 quarters. They're scoring efficiently. We've seen Danilo Gallinari having a superb game. What he's been able to do from the field has been nothing short of spectacular. Only a select few players in the league can shoot the ball like that. Strong showing so far by these two in the action today, leading their team in points in the first half. And it's time now to head back for the rest of our game out in Denver. See you next time.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. The Nuggets trail by 3.
You know, guys, Dallas kind of gets slept on in terms of playoff action because they've been so disappointing in recent years, but they worked hard all season, and the hard work has its reward.
Great perspective. Lawson and Aflalo are the backcourt. Kmart and Nene are inside. And it's Gallinari in at the 3. That's the group on the floor for Denver.
You know, I think when you've got somebody that open on the perimeter, a good shooter, the kickout's the only choice.
Clark, back to Dallas. They weren't really talked about as a contender, and some even had them losing to Portland in the first round. Then, Steve, that Los Angeles upset, that sweep got everybody's attention.
Sure did. They took the first 2 games in L.A., then they blew out the Lakers in Game 4 to finish off the sweep. Just an incredible series, and I think that was the series that was the springboard for Dallas into the finals and past the Miami Heat. When they beat the Lakers, Dallas knew they could win the whole thing.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Guys, untidy. You've got to value the possession of the basketball.
I know you agree with that, Steve.
No, totally. You got to play with control and composure, Kevin.
Martin with the bucket.
It's been all about ball movement here. Great passing.
Yeah, anytime you've got an unselfish team, the ball will find the open player.
Marion gets whistled for a loose ball foul. That's his first foul. And we may have an injury here. That does not look good.
Boy, you hate to see this, Clark.
You should. Sure do. I mean, tough to tell how bad it is just yet. Hopefully not too serious.
Andre Miller's checked in for Ty Lawson. Here's Miller, looking for his first bucket of the game. He's covered by Kidd. Miller, the pass to Nene, takes it up with a step. From third quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug of war. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, both teams playing well. Neither club able to pull away.
Well, I tell you what, when I think about Andre Miller, it's his durability that jumps out at you. I mean, he had been the reigning active consecutive games played leader at 632 until that record was broken last year.
Feeds to Nene. From 11 feet away, the shot misses, and Dallas the other way.
This offense's first miss after 3 straight makes to start the second half.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Now it's a 5-point Maverick lead. You know, more on Miller, Clark, in that consecutive game played streak. I know NFL players take great pride in how many games they play in a row. I mean, they take great pride in that. You don't think that really is part of the way they look at things, but they do. Back to Miller, he didn't miss due to injury. Instead, he saw his streak snap because of a 1-game suspension, Steve, for a flagrant foul.
It almost doesn't seem fair, does it, for a streak like that to end due to a suspension? Really a shame. And you're right, Kevin. Miller, like most players, takes great pride in a streak like that and his longevity and his ability to bring it every single night. His presence in the paint. Gives their offense such a valuable dimension.
Denver calls timeout.
You know, and the question for the Nuggets now, without a singular star player, is can they continue to win that way? The conventional wisdom throughout the league is that you need 2 stars, maybe a third, to be a great team. But this Nuggets team has a lot of good players and tremendous depth.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for the Nuggets. Got a switch here now also for Dallas. Haywood's checked in. Here's Chandler. He has 7. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but through contact, he'll head to the line. That's on Jason Terry.
That was good awareness, fouling and avoiding giving up an easy dunk.
Well, I think that's just good, smart basketball. Make him earn his points at the line.
Good thought there, Clark. You know, going back to the Nuggets' depth, can you do it, Steve, by committee, or they need to make some moves to try to bring in a bigger name?
Well, I don't know if a bigger name means anything, but you need a guy who can score in crunch time against great defense, like Carmelo used to. You can do it by committee during the regular season. In the playoffs, though, it gets very difficult.
Chandler against Haywood. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots off the step back. Chandler, no good.
Not necessarily a strong inside presence, but he needs to polish those chances off.
I think their only hope now, Clark, is to slow him down with a double team.
Well, they got to stop the bleeding, put the tourniquet on, and he's been tough to play straight up.
Pulls it up. The Nuggets with another miss.
Boy, that was way behind the line. Now, he can make that at times.
He certainly is one of the guys that can actually do it from there. You know, to have somebody as dependable as he is on the offensive end, that's extremely invaluable to this team.
Time call here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over.
This run, a definite concern. They've lost all momentum. They need to try to sort this out right away.
A different look for Denver. Kenyon Martin was checked in for Dalton. Smith comes in for Aaron Aflalo. And it's Lawson in for Andre Miller. Caron Butler's checked in for Dallas. Fernandez comes in for Jason Terry. There's 53 seconds left here in the third quarter. And Nowitzki backs in. Puts it up. And Dallas again with the bucket.
This is a very steady performance offensively for him.
Now Wilson. He's picked up by Kidd. Offside Chandler. They need this. And unable to corral the miss. It goes on a play. Mavericks leading by 14. Kidd kicks the bucket. Nowitzki for three. And that one's good. Nowitzki's got 10 points here in the second half.
You know, with their lead and the success they're having from behind the three-point arc, there's no reason to get away from it. Stay with it.
And then Hernandez slams it in. While we've got a second, let's check out this right slam cam.
They're really playing well on both ends, offensively and defensively, guys.
Yeah, it's been a complete performance, Steve. You look back on this game, and one that you would hopefully be able to build on.
Smith shot is good.
He had his head up and was looking to pick that pass all the way. You love that himself.
2 seconds left. Misses it. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. So as we get going here in the fourth, let's go to our sideline report. Good, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. It's the Mavericks at the spark of the game with that push we saw. The third quarter was clearly their time to shine, and they have made the most of it to build this lead. You have to like their chances with the way they're playing as they head into the fourth. Guys.
Really propelled them.
Yes, it did. I mean, you got their confidence up there. And this swagger you like to see in a team.
Looking at the offense, they are kind of down on themselves right now. The body language, not where it needs to be.
So Nowitzki sitting on the bench. Here is Carlisle going. Really Hernandez out there with J.J. Pereira. That's Karan. Then there's Marion. And it's Chandler in the fifth spot. Man in the middle. 6 to go. And the Mavericks lead by 21.
And everything's falling on the three-point line here in the second half.
And guys, you know, one bed into the other. They're shooting with great confidence. They're on a roll.
Now the Mavericks with the Marion back down. He's up to the dunk. Good aggressive move. Shoot.
Well, Marion will never get back to his days of beating still a very versatile player on the Dallas roster. And he can be very effective in a number of ways for the Mavericks.
The Nuggets mention his nutrition. The follow champion. Good on the angle. Thinking about Marion some more. He's versatile to really help Dallas in a lot of areas as we saw.
You can spot him in the 3 or 4 spot along their defense. I mean, that cost they made it. A lot of other teams. Now 6 of their last 10 games they made it.
Yeah, shot really certainly these guys got it well.
Here's your right. Awesome second. Fades away. Pereira's got 5 points in the fourth quarter. The Nuggets trail by 21. Here is Ross Watson. Kicks it to Alari. Lets it go deep. And the shot is good. He's got 19 points.
It's very comfortable three-point line today. This team looking for every opportunity.
Circle around is what they're doing. They're pushing their tempo and really going and
Time call home here. The Nuggets side.
no secret out they're marking together and they're very careful with the contract they do now.
Jabbing up on the chamber junction. And he's checked in for Anderson. Marco comes in right on. And J.R. Smith's checked in for Washington. Kidd against Watson. He's picked up by Kidd. Watson against Kidd. There's a shot of Watson. That's what he said about the Mavs. It seems they can't find the right fit. And they keep giving out dubious contracts. And you don't know if it was anybody being in the front office like 2 or 3 cases. I mean, it's 50-50 a lot of times. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, the personnel decisions are always difficult, especially when it comes to Tyson Chandler really solidifies that position for Dallas last year.
Well, Nuggets trail by 16. Smith kills 12 rolls. Another 3. About a minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. Now they 3 for 3. And that's that one goes in. 22 points for Nowitzki. 10 balls. They trail by 16. 1:43 left to play here in the fourth. Gallinari is checked in for Denver. Chandler comes in for J.R. Smith. Sean Marion is checked in for Dallas. Here's Lawson. Backing down his day. Martin the pass to Chandler. It's going to be 2 free throws. Contact on the shot. That's on Jason Terry.
How funny, Wilson Chandler, raised by his grandparents in the small town of Bum Harbor, Michigan, was named Mr. Basketball in 2005, and it surprised me.
Talking about Wilson Chandler, small town up, and it makes sense. Low maintenance guy doesn't need to be in the spotlight. Steve, just a hard worker in the game.
I like Wilson Chandler. He's scrappy, he's tough, he's a defender, and he can make that shot. I mean, he really developed that three-point shot in New York under Mike D'Antoni, and he's brought that over to Denver with him. He's got a chance to be an impact player for the Nuggets for many years to come.
Chandler with the steal. Here's Nowitzki. He gathers. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Nowitzki's got 15 points here in the second half. Lawson outside. Martin, he passes to Gallinari. That's the free fly. Sean Marion grabs the miss.
Boy, I'm shocked he didn't make that one. He usually knocks that one down with ease.
And here's Kidd from the arc. He can't get it to go. Now Denver takes it the other way. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Terry against Russell. Pass to Gallinari. Over Kidd. A nice shot by Gallinari.
He got such a good feel for his shots in a really good groove.
And Nowitzki backs in. Nowitzki right side. Connects on the open J. And the Mavericks lead by 15.
I don't know, Clark. This looks over now.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is all but over.
Left side Terry. Baseline J. And a great assist by Kidd as that one goes in.
Another bucket, and they are just pulling away here now.
Yep, no doubt about it. They're sprinting to the finish line.
And that's going to do it. I mean, this thing is pretty much over. They played well.
Well, it has been a bit anticlimactic at the end of the game, but sometimes that's the way it goes.
So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games for a coach.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now we present the Jordan Player of the Game, Dirk Nowitzki.